Welcome to the 100 Photos channel. We are glad to see you again and wish you a pleasant viewing of our new video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos, and you will also help achieve my dream of 100,000 subscribers.
1920s. Motorcycles line up and wait for the starting gun to go off at the Beverly Hills Speedway, Beverly Hills, California. Czechoslovak legionaries in Western Siberia, 1918. Women in costumes baking necklaces in their kitchen, 1929. A museum curator examining one of a series of giant books, half in the Prague Castle archives, Czech Republic, 1940s. 1904, Detroit, Michigan. World's highest standard of living, U.S., during the Great Depression, 1937. Woman talking on a hand crank outdoor pay telephone attached to a telephone pole. C. 1900s, 1910s. Worker using a cog slide to descend Mount Washington, New Hampshire, Bretton Woods, 1900s. Youngsters with boom boxes, 14th Street, New York City, in 1983. Photo by Morris Endel. Woman demonstrating an early dishwashing machine, USA, 1920s. Wo Young Shoe Shine Boys in New York, 1890s. Women receive instruction in the application of makeup, 1940. Woman making crepe, Britannia, CA, 1900. Young fathers with children on a walk, Vilnius, Lithuanian SSR, 1969. Woman with a General Electric mainframe computer and a blackboard, 1955. Workers nearly 200 feet 60 meters above the groundwork to assemble the Hindenburg, still the physically largest man-made vehicle to ever fly. Youngsters playing football in a residential street in London, 1950s. (1918) San Francisco. Salvador Dali kisses the hand of Raquel Welch after finishing his famous portrait of her, 1965. to Little Girls Next to the Burick Wall by George Roger, Palestine, c. 1952. Train on the way between Moldava and Mikulov, where a viaduct from the late 19th is also placed. Century, 1908. Bruce Davidson, London, c. 1960. A photo of a mother and her children, probably taken by a reformer and social agitator, of a Glasgow slum, Scotland, 1868. A Man Reading in the Park, London, Ringler 19-5. A Scottish gillie poses with a salmon, Scotland, early 1900s. Henry Cartier-Bresson, China, c. 1949. August 1943, Middle River, Maryland. The two end meet. America gets its first transcontinental railroad, 1869. V-Day celebrations in Toronto, Canada in 1945. Celebrations erupted around the world as the Allies secured victory in Europe. A woman from the Sudetenland slots the new Nazi leaders as she cries at the fall of her people. July 9, 1956, saving all she could after the big earthquake that hit Santorini. The Endurance entering the pack ice of Weddell Sea in order to reach the coast of Antarctica on the 9th of December 1914. A U.S. serviceman shelters a young injured Japanese boy from the rain in Saipan in July 1944. Children showing off on skis and sledges in a North Bohemian village in Lomnik, 1940. (1926), San Francisco. November 1941, Mr. and Mrs. Lee Wagner, who farm on the Black Canyon Project, Canyon County, Idaho. Photo by Russell Lee, Farm Security Administration. 1922, Washington, D.C. Skaters on the frozen Vltava under Vysegrad, 1905. Freddie Mercury with his mother, 1947. Gestapo informer recognized by a woman she had denounced, Henry Cartier-Bresson, Germany, c. 1945. (1916) Theodore Roosevelt holding his grandson Kermit Roosevelt, Jr. Three factory workers in a cotton mill in Lancashire, England, in the heart of the Industrial Revolution, 1908. Saturday, May 25, 1940. Interior of General Store at STEM, Granville County, North Carolina, with high school boys dressed up because it's election day. Photo by Jack Delano for the Farm Security Administration. April 1925. Arlington Beach, South Dakota. Anita Niche, Troyes, c. 1956. A shepherd tends to his flock, Greece, 1960s. February 1942, Tulare County, California. FSA Farm Workers Camp, Girls in the Recreation Room. Acetate negative by Russell Lee for the Farm Security Administration. 1915, Crockett, California. Shepherds taking a record break from herding, Azerbaijan, 1939. Algerian refugee woman fleeing the French war to retain its colony of Algeria, Maryland Stafford, Tunisia, c. 1958. A photo of Cornish fisherman, Billy Renfrey and his fishwife, with their donkey and cart, in the fishing town of Newlyn, Cornwall, late 1800s. November 1941. Lee Wagner, Black Canyon Project farmer, at home. Canyon County, Idaho. Medium format negative by Russell Lee for the Farm Security Administration. Alfred Eisenstadt, Paris, c. 1930. Olivia Newton-John, Victoria Principal and her husband on winter holidays in Gstaad, 1984. A mugshot of a child, Jane Farrell, arrested and imprisoned in Newcastle, England, in the mid-Victorian era, 1870s. People from the Lodz Ghetto board deportation trains for the Chelm no-death camp. Werner Bischoff, Rouen, c. 1945. Queen Elizabeth II meeting Marilyn Monroe. The two met in 1956, when both were 30, at the premiere of the Battle of the River Plate. August 1942, Interlaken, Michigan. National Music Camp, where 300 or more young musicians study symphonic music for 8 weeks each summer. A student eating an ice cream cone. Photo by Arthur Ziegel. July 1943, Greenville, South Carolina. Three women having fun riding a bicycle, 1895. Milk delivery by dog cart, Studio City, CA, circa 1910. Wedding photo of Stephen Hawking and Jane Wilde, 1965. Vertical parking machine in Chicago, 1940. Dorothea Longa, San Francisco, c. 1933. Maudlin Faces, a portrait of a pair of sisters, taken by Albert J. Ewing. In Ohio, U.S.-born itinerant photographer who made his living moving about around southeastern Ohio and West Virginia in the late 1890s and early 1900s. Marilyn Monroe boarding a Pan Am flight to Mexico in 1962. Parisians queue up for chairs to the flooded Seine through the streets of the French capital, where the water caused the third largest recorded flood in the history of the metropolis, 1924. Cool Kids of Boston 1980. Henry Cartier-Bresson, Liverpool, c. 1963. New York police officers at a phone booth in the 1970s. Sergio Lorraine, Chile, c. 1960. A photo booth shot from the mid-20th century of an American sailor. The first ever photo booth was opened in Baltimore, USA, in 1888. July 1955, Rome, Italy. Women in costumes baking necklaces in their kitchen, 1929. Entrance to an old chapel in the Austrian Tyrolean Mountains, 1899. (1957) Open-air school in the Netherlands. Row of cows' rumps, with fat-cheeked family of 6 milking them, in neat cow barn, 1 9 for 3. Sheriff's deputies dumping out illegal alcohol in Orange County, California, 1932. Three Dutch boys, recently liberated from a Nazi labor camp, ride a Freedom train home, May 5, 1945. Photo by Menno Huizinga. Wallace Simpson and Edward VIII at their wedding. West Berlin is waving to relatives over the Berlin Wall, Christmas Day, 1961. Photo by Leon Herstrit. When she was 23, Rosemary Kennedy, the sister of JFK and RFK, had a forced lobotomy arranged by her father. The surgery left her incapacitated for the rest of her life. Wilt Chamberlain at 17, 1954. Vanessa Williams, Etta Murphy, and Yul Brynner, 1980s. This picture was taken 102 years ago. Woman at her switchboard in 1914. Unbelievably stunning couple love how their hands are clasped together. 1960s. Young Angie Dickinson. Winona Ryder, Jodie Foster and Julia Roberts, 1989. Women on a lunch break skipping in the street of London, 1953. Three Sisters, 1926. Portrait by James Van der Zee. Woman in pants going for a bike ride, 1897. Three young boys sit in a wagon in a Pittsburgh neighborhood street, 1920 to 1930. Women factory workers in a cotton mill in Lancashire, circa 1908. Woman riding a very early scooter, 1916. Traffic officer operating a mechanical traffic signal, Philadelphia, 1922. Young family from 1932. Trappers and hunters in the Four Peaks country in Browns Basin, Arizona.